Hi guys, my name is Antos, and today I wanted to show off the latest version of the CAM's 3-axis digital stabilizer. I reviewed the previous version, which was the CAM 7000. This one is the CAM 7500. And the main difference between this one and the previous version is the fact that this one comes fully assembled and configured. Because I know some of you guys had problems configuring the gimbal. Also, the other cool feature about this version of the gimbal is that it comes with bigger, more powerful motors, so it can handle slightly bigger cameras, and also it comes with a 32-bit control board and two IMU sensors. There's one sensor here on the top and one here on the back. And the last thing, which really makes a difference, and especially for me, is the fact that the control board now comes in this nice enclosure. It has an on and off switch, which is really cool because you can basically just have the battery plugged in the whole time and then you just power it off or on the gimbal this way. And it has a little port here on the top for the USB connection, in case you do want to connect it to a computer and change some settings a little bit. But like I said, the gimbal comes pre-configured. It's going to work with most DSLRs. Like right now I have the GH4 camera on here, but I tried it with the Canon 7D with some big cinema lenses. Works just as beautifully. So for most DSLRs, unless you're putting some really big heavy accessories, it's gonna handle it. Even a Canon 5D Mark III with some bigger lenses. As far as the minimum weight that it can handle, I mean, I've tested out with the Sony NEX5R. Works with that too. I just found that to balance it, it was better to put a base plate sort of under, to add a little bit of extra weight and allow me the movement, back and forth a little bit more, because the camera is so tiny and all the weight is on the front of the lens. Another cool feature, which I forgot to mention, is the fact that it comes with an analog joystick here in the back, and this joystick allows you to basically pan and tilt the camera. So you can go left, for example, right, up here, and then you can also point the camera up and down like that. And like I said, it's analog, so it's sort of like your gamepad controllers. Depending on how fast or how far you move the joystick, that's how fast the camera will move. So also the joystick acts as a button, so if you press down on the joystick, it will hear a click. And what that actually does is it allows you to change between different profiles. Now, like I said, the gimbal comes pre-configured, and not only that, but it comes pre-configured with 3 different profiles, which is really cool. The first profile is the follow mode, which is sort of like what I was showing, that I configured before for myself. So meaning that if it keeps the camera stabilized, as you can see, but if you start going to the right, after a while the camera is going to start following. You can go to the left, the same thing. If you go up, it will follow up, and then down. And again, you can make it go fast, slower, all that stuff, depending on the speed of your movement. Now, when you press it 2 times, you're going to switch it to the second profile. So let me do this right now. Takes like a few seconds. Okay, and now I'm in the second profile. Now the second profile is a COM mixture, I think they call it. Basically, the difference is this: it still keeps the camera stabilized like before, and if I go pan left and right, the camera goes left and right, but it no longer follows if you go up and down. So it's always going to stay basically pointing level, unless you use the joystick. So with this, for example, let's say you don't really expect to be, the camera to be moving up and down, you want to just be always pointing perfectly horizontal, you can keep it that way. But let's say in the middle of the shot you decide that you do want to, let's say, look up a little bit, then you can just use the joystick and it will still stay in that position. So that's the cool thing about having the joystick. The third profile, you again enter just by clicking it 3 times. And now we're in the third profile, and this one is the locked off mode. So keeps the camera stabilized, but as you can see, I can tilt and I can rotate this thing, for example, all the way, and the camera is not going to follow. So that's the difference. Now, like I said, it's good for when you don't plan to really be doing a lot of camera moves, but in case you do still need to reframe in the middle of your shot, then again you just use the joystick. So you can go right, left, up and down. So yeah, so that's a pretty cool thing. And then go back to the first profile, just click it once, and that's it. Yeah, really cool gimbal. I think they made all the right improvements, especially since the fact is, like I said, it comes pre-assembled. Now the only thing it doesn't come assembled, it's a minor thing, but it's just this top handle. I barely myself ever use this top handle, and now the reason why this doesn't come attached is so that just so that they can fold this nicely and fit it in the box. Because with this handle sticking out, they would have needed to make a bigger box when shipping. But like I said, you don't need to attach it. Now, attaching the top handle takes no more than 5 minutes. So, it's a very easy thing to do. And like I said, you don't have to be like very precise with it. You can attach it any way you want. Now, just like before, and that applies to every 3-axis, digital gimbal slash stabilizer. You will need to, configure or sort of balance the gimbal for your camera. Now here, let me turn that off right now. So when the gimbal's turned off, the whole idea with balancing is that when you have your camera and your lens on there, you want to make sure that if you just keep it horizontal like this level, the camera should stay like that. But it should also be, if it's properly balanced, stay, for example, in whatever position you put it at. So if I tilt it back, tilt it horizontal, or same thing if I put it forward. And also if I, for example, go left and right on the roll axis. So for example, if I go like this, it should just stay this way. If it stays like this, that means that the gimbal's properly balanced. Now, I know some of you guys were asking me questions now, what if you're in the middle of filming and you have the gimbal, for example, balanced, like let's say the day before you shoot, you balance it, everything's great, but in the middle of the filming, you need to be able to change lenses. Well, when you change lenses, yes, you do have to reconfigure the gimbal, but it's not as hard, because literally all you're really changing at that point is how much weight, is basically going forward or back. In case you do end up changing your lenses in the middle of the shoot, it is actually very quickly, you can sort of rebalance the gimbal at that point. All you have to do is loosen this little screw here and just slide the camera, back or forward depending on, how forward heavy your lens is. And that's pretty much it. So, when I was able to change the lens on this, it takes me about maybe a minute, maximum minute and a half. Like I said, literally just put on a new lens, loosen the screw slightly, don't completely remove the camera, just loosen it slightly, and then you adjust the back and forward movement of the camera. And the cool thing is that they already have sort of these pre-cut grooves here, so once you know which sort of position your camera is attached in, you keep it in that same groove. It's just, again, just move it back and forth along that axis, and that's it. And like I was saying, now the cool thing with the on-off feature is that you can have the gimbal, let's say, folded away. Let's say you're taking a break, you're not using it. The second you need to use it, you don't have to no longer fiddle with the batteries being plugged in or anything like that. You just hold it up sort of like this, click the on button, and like you see, the gimbal starts working. So yeah, it's a really cool and handy little thing to have. Not to mention the fact that now all the electronics are covered, and that also makes it easier. Now, because this uses the new 32-bit control board and 2 sensors, you're going to notice it is even more stable. And the cool thing is that you can really sort of push the gimbal and put it in different positions. So you can go like this. You can invert the camera, obviously using the joystick to point any way you want it. But even if you want to, for example, hold the camera like this, except like I said, you'll be doing it, you would have the lens pointed the other way. You can basically, move the gimbal a lot more, and and the camera is going to stay steady. Versus, before, if you started pushing the gimbal to some really extreme angles, and the camera would just basically, the gimbal would start shaking. And now another thing I would suggest getting for this gimbal is a little sort of articulated monitor arm. Because like I was saying in my previous review of the previous version of this gimbal, it is good to have a monitor here, so you can sort of see clearly what your camera is recording, even though you could just be like that, like I said, holding it up here and looking directly behind the camera. But yeah, I just find that it's easier, especially if you're gonna have the camera really low to the ground, to be able to just have a monitor up here that you can look at. So this monitor arm is around it's around $15. I got it on Amazon. If you want to find out the exact link of which model I got, then just follow the link on my website. It's tomantosfilms.com. And the cool thing is that it's you can use it with this thing. Like I said, it just comes with the big clamp here. It will clamp onto anywhere pretty much on this gimbal, or you can also use this, with in other applications. Like for example, when I'm using my monitor on like a crane or something like that, I would just use this to attach it to the tripod leg or the crane itself. So it's a really cool little arm to have. Now, if you're shooting with the Panasonic GH4, the cool thing about that camera is that it has basically an app you can install on your phone, and then you can just use your phone pretty much as a monitor. Now, it's not the biggest unless you have a really big screen on your phone, but otherwise, as you can see up here, it updates in real time. There is a slight delay, but I guess if you're doing stuff that's like really fast action, when you need to be able to constantly follow the camera moves, then that might not be the way to go. But for any kind of normal framing, like what all the tests that I was doing right now, I just use basically this phone app. It's really cool. It allows you to not only monitor what the camera sees, but also control all the camera features and stop and start recording the camera, which is really cool. Even allows you to adjust the focus under. Now, to attach the phone to this, to the gimbal, the best way that I found to do it is to just get this little bicycle cell phone holder. I've tried different ones, and this one for $10 again on Amazon. It just seems to do the job the best. It has a very quick and easy way of adjusting the angle. Just press it here on the side, and you can rotate it here. I believe it's 90 degrees up and down, and you can rotate it this way 360 degrees. And you can even tilt it left and right 180 degrees. So you can go like this and like this. Again, if you guys are interested, in getting this specific model that I got, just follow the links on my website. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, once you have your monitor attached, put the camera under, and that's really all you need. The whole gimbal comes with a battery, a charger for the battery. Also comes with all the little tools, the Allen keys. Now, overall, I'm very happy with this gimbal. So if you guys are interested in getting it for yourself, then just go to came-tv.com, or you can find again all the links and extra information about this gimbal, as well as the review I did of the previous version on my website, which is tomantosfilms.com. Anyways, thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this.